President Jacob Zuma's legal team has this morning been arguing that the appeal against a High Court decision that ruled Zuma's medical parole was unlawful. The former president was granted medical parole last September. He served just 2 months of his 15-month prison sentence after the Constitutional Court found him guilty of contempt. eNCA senior reporter Desan Tathia is at the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. He's been covering that story for us and listening to the arguments there, and he joins us live. Aviwe, so far, Mr. Mtila for the Commissioner trying to argue that the Commissioner did have the power to actually grant Zuma parole, even though the Medical Parole Board said no. What else has he told the court so far?
Well, the arguments are centered just around that in the majority of the morning, myself, for that medical parole that was granted to former President Jacob Zuma. Advocate Mtila basically saying that they had 2 reports from doctors that did say that the former president was terminally ill, and the report by the Medical Parole Advisory Board itself is not mandate. It's a mere recommendation of some of the arguments that we've heard here. In fact, it's a 10-minute break now, Maseko, where a lot of supporters of former President Jacob Zuma are here in attendance at the Supreme Court of Appeal, as that matter will be heard in a short while. But I just want to bring in some of them. I see Ace Makashule here. Just to get his understanding. Mlomkhulu, thank you for joining us at eNCA. We're on a 10-minute break now, but we've heard arguments centered around the medical report. Why is the former president appealing this?
Well, the former president, like any South African, has a right to appeal. And I mean, there is this feeling that the courts have been used to deal with the former president and many of us. That will prove itself with time. I'm not sure how true is that. There are some judges captured. I don't know how true is that. But time will tell. We still believe in the judiciary.
But where does that notion come from that the courts are captured? You mentioned even you are one of those people that are being persecuted by the courts. Maybe give us more information. By who are they captured by?
Well, in politics, you'll wait and see. That's what I can tell you.
Wait and see. But the fact of the matter that we have, especially in this particular case, is that the Medical Parole Advisory Body did say that the president was fit to serve the remainder of his sentence. I just want to get your sentence then. I mean, your thoughts on this.
Well, I studied LLB 1 in the 80s, and I did pass it. It is very clear that the DG of Correctional Services have the power to decide the way he has decided. It's there. It's there in the statutes.
Okay, I'm not going to keep you. We have to go back inside court now, as court's about to start once more. Of course, that matter still continuing here at the Supreme Court of Appeal, given that the president could face, complete his remaining 13 months sentence if things don't go his way here.
And just very quickly, Aviwe, after this short break, we know that the former commissioner's legal team has already rested its case. So who are we expecting to hear from after this break?
You remember that this is an application by the former president, so we'll expect him, represented by Advocate Dalimbofu, also to make his submissions here. But it's still going to be a long day, given that the Democratic Alliance, as well as the Helen Suzman Foundation and the AfriForum itself, are still going to make their representations here. And then the Supreme Court of Appeal will then apply its mind on this. Judgment is expected to be reserved today. Up until then, they bring it out in its finality.
All right, Aviwe, let's let you quickly go back in court. My understanding is that the court has begun again proceedings